Hello and welcome to another episode of the Social Distancing Social Club. I am one of your hosts, Steve Hofstetter, joined here by a whole bunch of people, and I'm in my fancy dining room today. This is clearly not where I live. Welcome to everybody here. Going to introduce my illustrious co-hosts first. Ben Gleib, the host of Idiot Test on GSN, as well as been in a ton of other TV shows. Just ran for president. Everybody, welcome Ben Gleib.
Yay!
Hello, everybody, and that's Chris Newberg you cut to, and not Ben Gleib, but
why can't we hear anybody?
I don't know. We cut to the wrong people there. That is also not Ben Gleib.
You guys hear each other?
I hear you.
I hear you guys.
But they did not cut to me.
Amelia's
sound went out on mine for a second. Sorry about that.
They still have not cut to my feed, Steve. So just so you know, no one has seen me.
All right, cool.
Are we cut to him yet?
What do you see?
Figuring out tech.
That's Newberg again.
Newberg.
Right,
There's Ben Gleib. Hey, Ben Gleib.
That's Chris Bowers. That is Chris Bowers.
I'm seeing
All right,
you.
cool. By the way, Ben, don't worry about that. What is live streaming is what is on my end, not what is on your end. So I'm streaming the gallery view where everybody can be seen at once.
Got it. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. It's going to be a fun hour. It's been fun the last 2 days. We have a very special guest here that we will introduce in a moment. But let me introduce you to our other co-host, a very, very funny man, a regular on the Bob and Tom radio show, the legendary show. Please welcome the legendary Chris Bowers, everybody.
Woo!
Yeah.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. We are drinking.
Yeah.
I'm using this entire thing to be able to drink with people because I usually know I don't drink by myself. So this is a loophole. I can drink on a FaceTime. We're having a FaceTime beer pong tournament later. So
Bowers, before you stole it from him, did you check if the pimp who owned that hat had coronavirus or?
I've had this hat for 9 years, my brother. I've had this sweatsuit for 20. This is the 20th year of this sweatsuit. So
well, I know. Here's the question though, because I know that you do like the Oprah weight thing where you like skinny Bowers, fat Bowers go back and forth.
Yeah.
So like, how do you do that with the same sweatsuit for 20 years?
Well, that's why it's called a sweatsuit, my friend. That's the beauty of a sweatsuit, is you can get fat and skinny. The sweatsuit goes all the way out here or it goes all the way out there. It just depends on what you wear. And the pants match too. I don't know if you noticed that. So that's where
I'm military sweatsuit.
Yeah, elastic is a hell of a drug.
Bowers is not wearing a tuxedo jacket.
No, it's just St. Patrick's Day. It's the only time I take it off. The only time I take the night off of St. Patrick's Day to not wear a tuxedo because I get to wear this ridiculous shit. That's really about shit.
Got it. Put on my Abraham Lincoln socks just so y'all know.
Oh, nice.
Hope you enjoy that.
Or your Einstein shirt.
And my Einstein shirt. And it's green. And that was unintentional. I forgot it was St. Patrick's Day. So there you go.
Oh, I thought you were just being like, what's the only green thing I have? And it's an Einstein shirt.
Totally.
All right, we need to introduce our guest.
Yeah, we do. Shall I?
Yes, you shall.
Okay, this man not only is a dear friend of mine, not only was he the only writer with me on all 210 episodes of Idiot Test, which you can see on Netflix. He's been on The Tonight Show. He's been on all the late night shows. He was on America's Got Talent. He's a writer for Emo Genius, also on GSN. He writes so many television shows. Please welcome the hilarious stand-up comedian, Chris Newberg, everybody.
By the way, producer Michael, if you can, let's leave it in gallery view. Let's not spotlight people so that everybody can be on at the same time since we have so many people. That way we can all be on at once and the audience gets to be on too. Welcome everybody. We're going to take a couple questions. But before we do, I want to ask Chris, you're holed up in San Francisco, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm in San Francisco. It's a 3-week lockdown, no curfew. It's bad, man. It's like
you seem to be very familiar with the regulations.
94% of the people who get coronavirus today will be sick.
What?
Just today,
true.
though. Today only.
Just today.
Yeah.
But
What's
in 3
tomorrow's
weeks,
percentage? Have they announced it yet?
19.5. It's going to be 19.5. But it's sort of like it goes up and down like Bitcoin, so it could only be like 4% tomorrow.
Okay, like.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, thank you for joining us. We very much appreciate that. Michael, I see some super chats are already coming in. By the way, to the viewers at home or wherever the hell you might be at this time, if you would like to guarantee yourself an answer to a question, or have us read your comment on the air, unless it's like shitty and mean, you can super chat us. That money goes to comedians, and it is a tough freaking time for comedians right now. So very much appreciate your support, and we will get to some questions that are not super chatted as well. So producer Michael, do we have anything?
Yeah, question from, well, first of all, let's do super chats. Matt Orlando gave $2 and said, much love to everyone involved.
Thank you, Matt.
Yes.
Odd Davey Vio gave $20 and said, Steve, you're the best.
Well, I very much appreciate that. And wait, before you go with the, and then if anybody else wants to super chat to say that someone else is better than me, the going rate is $20 right now. So,
so we're like a piano bar. If you want to sing the other team's fight song, you throw in more money. I like it. So right now,
Exactly.
Steve is the best. So if you want to throw in $22 to say Ben is the best, this is your chance. And then
throw in $24. Bowers will do an Irish jig dance.
We've got Z Bunster gave $20. Hi from Maine. Geez, I'm gone for a day and the blue sparkle jacket is gone. And Cal Coon spent all my money on toilet paper.
So thanks for the €2 nonetheless. I understand that toilet paper is getting expensive. So Z, if you came in a little bit late, and we very much appreciate the continued support, the blue sparkle jacket is not gone. It's just on hiatus for St. Patrick's Day. And also, there are other sparkle jackets. Bowers, how many tuxedos do you have, or how many tuxedo jackets?
Well, I have 15 tuxedo jackets, but I have 3 different sizes. So I have 5 fat ones, I have 5 middle ones, and 5 skinny ones. And so it just depends. And that's one of the reasons I lose weight and gain weight is so my wardrobe rotates. It's like rotating crops in a field, just how it works.
I have a very similar problem in my life. My weight fluctuates quite a bit. So we did 4 seasons of video tests, and they would buy an incredible wardrobe every year, and they would let me have a few outfits free, and I would usually buy more of them at the end of the season at a very good discount rate. But I was very fat season 3. I was medium fat season 2. Newberg was there every day, he could tell you. And so I literally have different outfits, but I don't have them organized. So I just have to go through like 40 suit jackets to figure out which one is fat jacket, which one is skinny jacket. Not a great life.
See, I know my fat jackets are going to be when it's winter, so those are cold and velvet, and my skinny jackets are more linen because that's going to be summer. So those are a little bit less. So I know by texture how big the coat is.
By the way, Bowers, if you ever start a band, please call it Cold and Velvet. In the comments, by the way, if you have suggestions for what Bowers' band name should be, please throw it in the comments.
I like it.
Feel free to super chat us.
I don't have a suggestion for what Bauer's band name should be called, but I'm certain that if he's in Boston, everyone's going to be like, oh my God, we need to get the Celtic playing basketball again. He's let himself go. Because the Celtic is tiny.
I know, right? What's funny is this is me medium.
You know what? That's the name. I don't know what your band's going to be called, but that's the name of your next album. This is Medium.
This is me medium. Nice. Hey, producer Michael, what else we got?
Samuel Estes asks, is Ben still running in the national brain games, presidential election?
Well, first of all, let me tell you that if you've been following the election at all, you know it's quite the opposite of brain games. It's really more like idiot test. There's a lot of people that are proving their idiocy day in and day out. I am no longer running. The campaign ended December 30th. I was on the New Hampshire ballot in February because they don't like to reprint stuff over there in New Hampshire. A little lazy with the ballots. And somehow I got 0.1% of the vote, even though my campaign ended 2 months earlier, and I tied Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, and Julian Castro. So was an
and you
honor.
almost got as many as Tulsi, who's still running.
Yeah, Tulsi is still running, and no
And
one
she
knows
barely
why.
beat you.
Yeah, she was trying to get on the last debate stage, and she was very angry. She was like, "Do what's right, Biden and Sanders. Do what you know is right." And she's polling at about 1%. So I say it's time to hang up the dream and say aloha, but the goodbye version of it.
Do you think she's playing? Do you think she's playing the long game and just being like, "Wait a minute, this virus kills senior citizens. I just have to wait long enough."
It's very possible. That's very possible. God forbid
They
that
still
happen,
wouldn't
but
let her run.
Yeah, yeah, they'd still be like,
Even
"I don't
if
think you
both of
qualify for the debate."
yeah, you
Biden
can't run
dies.
for president and say aloha all the time. She says aloha too much. She even wears lays, flower lays around her neck, and uploads workout videos of herself all the time, doing push-ups and squats. Not exactly the most presidential vibe. Not that I should talk.
Yeah, Ben, do you if you think you'd have done more push-ups during the campaign, you'd still be on the campaign trail? You think she's got?
I know that for a fact. If I was wearing my skinny jackets from season 1.
Yeah, you'd be unstoppable. All right, Michael,
That's right.
what else we got?
We got a super chat from Patrick F. $10. Thank you. Greetings from Miami Beach. About to be tough times for us too, but we'll get through this. Thanks for doing this.
Much appreciated. By the way, what part of the country do you think would notice the least? Like what's the part of the country where suddenly like no one's out and they're just like, "Oh yeah, this is normal."
Well, I've been saying for a minute that we've been giving Gen Z and millennials shit for 10 years about always being on their phone and never going outside. Turns out they've been planning for this shit the whole goddamn time. Like they're ready. The millennials won't notice at all. They're like, "Oh, there was a what now? Oh shit, my bad. I didn't know that we were." Yeah, I don't think Gen Z kids
People
go
in the
outside
state
anyway.
of Montana. People in the state of Montana have been social distancing forever.
Yeah, they have the most space. Suddenly Montana's just like, oh, you think our real estate is worthless, huh? You wanna wait to live in a house with 8 people and never see them? Well, you got to do it in Montana.
Yeah, and also gamers' lives have not changed one drop. They're still in their basements alone playing games 12 hours a day. Their lives are exactly the same, and they're like, what is everybody bitching about?
I think the people that I feel the worst for is Australia, because like Australia was on fire and everybody was like, we have to stay inside to be able to breathe. And then finally it rains enough that things are a little bit under control. It's still horrible. They're like, okay, we can go outside. The air is enough. We can go outside. And then they're just like, oh, son of a bitch, back inside.
Yeah. Are the fires still going in Australia? Because we don't ever keep track of these disasters after they start.
Yeah, that's basically the news. Like, this is the worst thing ever, and it's going to be in the news cycle for a while. And then, like, you know, some K-pop star has a scandal, and they're just like, well, news story.
Yeah. So is Australia still on fire? And is the Brazilian rainforest still on fire?
I don't know. In the comments, please inform us, because the only thing that's been in the news between coronavirus and Tom Brady leaving the Patriots, really, that's all we know.
Yeah.
Is Kanye still an asshole?
Well, that we don't have to check.
Ben, I love that you're like, hey, you know how we're real sad because we're all inside and coronavirus? Are there other things we should be also sad about? How about Australia? Is that still sad? How about let's add more sadness.
Well, wait. So
right
I have
now.
a question. So what if Kobe Bryant dies the exact same day coronavirus becomes a pandemic? Who gets more coverage?
Oh,
well,
shit.
I think. See, I honestly, right now, I'm thinking Kobe might have the best timing since Hugh Hefner. Like the last public funeral we do is his, and then we all die. I mean, that's pretty impressive, Kobe. Nice work. You know, like Hefner died 3 weeks before Me Too. I mean, holy shit.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? I'm not kidding. Like he fucked 2 girls a day till he was 90, and then 3 weeks before that was a problem, he checked out. Like Jesus Christ, he stuck the landing.
That is solid timing. I don't have a comment on this topic, but I do have a special guest here that is very willing to comment on this. Please welcome Ari Shafir, everybody.
Ben, how are you able to get him?
I love that Newberg just is like dropping jokes now while scratching himself bald head to the camera.
I also love that, like, he was not. Do you think Ari's schedule was cleared like a few weeks before coronavirus?
We got a super chat from Thomas Dufresne. Steve, your content, which comedian did you learn the most from when it came to your stand-up?
Oh, that's a good question for all the comics here. And actually, we're gonna show some live stand-up pretty soon.
We're gonna have it performed for you live.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Live feature? What's the right word? I don't know. I'm in a very fancy.
We will be bringing you live stand-up comedy straight to your pocket.
Look, I'm very fancy. Can't you see? I can't be. Well, my fingers are disappearing. This is weird.
Yeah, that's the weird part. That's the weird part about the backdrop.
Yeah, that's why Bowers used a backdrop of pictures to prove that he knows people. So, which comic did I learn the most from? Learned the most from growing up, listening to old albums of George Carlin and Dick Gregory. Then when I was in college, Mitch Hedberg was a huge influence. But in terms of the comic, I probably learned the most from just watching and being like, holy shit, that guy's good, was Ted Alexandro. Ted Alexandro, I still think pound for pound is the best comic in New York. He is someone who, for some reason, is not a household name, but he's so damn good. He's great. He's effortlessly good. Yeah.
Yeah, I just started following him on Twitter. He's very funny. Newberg, who are your comic influences? You're our special celebrity guest. Tell us who influenced you and what made you do stand-up.
Gosh, I would say probably Dangerfield, first and foremost.
Freddie Dangerfield.
Yeah, Freddie Dangerfield. He works at the Jiffy Lube on La Cienega. Really funny man.
Really very funny.
I like a lot of Woody Allen stuff, early stuff.
Yes.
I like Attell and obviously Chappelle and some early Howie Mandel's good. And I never really I thought Carrot Top was pretty clever. I think as far as his prop work is okay, he's a prop comic and that's kind of not cool. But the stuff he comes up with his props it's pretty funny.
It is very clever, his prop stuff. And two things about Carrot Top, a positive and a negative. I think it's clear why he got so jacked in his arms. It must be from carrying that suitcase of props everywhere. But the negative is that he could.
Oh, that's not the negative?
That's not the negative. That's the positive. The negative is he could never have a successful audio album.
Yeah. Be like, look at this prop, guys. Trust me, it's great. Next prop.
This is a shoe with a pencil sticking out of the lace hole. It's a pencil shoe.
I have a Carrot Top story. I used to host a show on Sirius XM, and it was like a panel show with a bunch of comedians. And I get a note from my producer. He hands me a note and says, "If you take a break, I'm bringing in Carrot Top." And I wrote back and I said, "Why are you threatening me?" And then he said, no, Carrot Top is in another studio. Take a break so I can bring him in. And I was like, you know what? It's worth it. I've never met him. This should be interesting. He brought him in. Dude was a fantastic panelist, super funny, on the ball, very, very quick. And I said to him, I go, hey, man, you're very, very quick. I don't think you need the props. Is there a reason why you've never just done regular stand-up? And he just goes, well, my contract is for a couple $1 million a year, so I think I'm okay. And I was like, all right, totally fair enough. My apologies. Question, my fault.
Ben, I'm curious. When we had the comedy club, we put comedy record albums around. And so we bought a bunch of lots of them. And one of the lots, there were two different ventriloquist albums where a ventriloquist comic had made an audio album in the 50s and 60s. So the very famous, whatever the old time puppet was, he was on radio. They got famous as a ventriloquist act on fucking radio.
Amazing.
So you can do prop comedy on an audio album, I'm assuming. I mean, there's another great story. It was Charlie, I can't remember his name, but there was a guy and he was making fun of, the puppet kept making fun of this dude in the audience, and the dude finally had enough and got up and stabbed the puppet.
Oh my God. That's a good ventriloquist.
That's amazing. I would still like to push back slightly on Bauer's concept here, as I like to do every episode. Just because a ventriloquist, while already a stretch on the radio, it's still two voices. You can't do props on the radio. Be describing props. Forget a laugh.
That's a solid point. That's a solid point. That I will concede that to you completely. You're right. My bad.
The only
But I will
reason
say-
it laughs with props
Wait, Chris.
silently is the outfit you're wearing.
I was going
Wait,
to just say ventriloquism has gotten so much easier for me ever since I started wearing one of those masks, those surgical masks.
Oh
So
my
it's
God!
like
we didn't think of-
I can share
we
my
didn't-
talent and not spread the disease.
We didn't think that.
Yeah.
What are masks going to do to the ventriloquist community? Oh my God, we didn't even think about them.
Yeah.
We need to send them some money.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like with the audio album, Brett Drock had a great line where he was talking about like the guys who are super act out comics, and like what do they do like with an audio album? They just have to be like, it's just a bunch of sneaker noises for a minute,
Yeah.
and you just have to you just have to picture it in your head.
Or you just start announcing what you're doing. I am running around the stage aggressively right now, doing kind of a monkey movement with my arms. I'm doing a monkey movement.
All right, let's.
I would like to ask the audience a question real quick, Steve, if I may.
Yeah.
The super chat audience and any of the people here in the broadcast with us, if they would like to answer, please tell us who your favorite comedian is and your favorite joke of theirs. Put your favorite joke of a known comedian in the comments and quote the person. We'll try to read some of them.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. And I also saw that a Cougars Cub said Emilia looks bored. What do they have to say? Well, she's not going to be too bored for long because you're going to be performing stand-up pretty soon.
Yeah. I'm just reading how our election is being stolen from us on Twitter, like in real. I'm just like reading about how like, oh my gosh, like they have voting suggestions in Illinois. Oh my God, Florida's going for Biden. Oh my God, we're losing our democracy. So I'm not bored. I'm just deeply depressed.
It's not boredom, it's ennui.
It's yeah. I mean,
Emilia.
I feel like is like an absence of emotion. Like there is like a deep like dagger full of depression just like through my entire chest area.
Fair enough, but you are aware you're on camera the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Millennials so easily forget when we're on camera.
You have, that's true. Would you say there's a chance you have a slight touch of the corona? Is that describing the lack of energy?
Which I wish I had corona, then all this would like fucking mean something. Like I'm like trapped in my apartment. Then I go outside and just everybody's out there, and I'm like, what the fuck is even the point of me doing it? Like, I want to see people dying in the streets. Like, make me feel like I'm like not wasting my time in here. I've had to cancel so many stand-up shows. I want a death toll, man. I want thousands.
Oh my God.
Well, the good news is you got it.
not wrong.
I mean, this is new corona material, all right? You guys are all seeing it first.
Bowers, do we want to go put some stand-up up now?
Yeah, Emilia, you ready? You think you can stand up and do some time?
Oh,
for
yeah.
us? Yeah, she set up
All
a
right,
microphone
Bauer.
and everything. Look at it. I
Look
love
at
the
that.
dramatic reveal of the microphone.
I was asked
Just
pretend like
lounging
I'm
on
in
her
a
bed,
club.
up to boom, ready to go. I love it.
I was asked to set up a mic and mic stand. I was not asked to put on an excited face. So ask me that for next time.
All right, wait. Before you start, Bowers, you want to give her a proper intro?
Yeah, so when I first came out to LA, Emilia's one of the first comics I met. I think she's brilliant and smart and says all the right stuff. And she is honestly, when I write jokes, she is my liberal millennial conscience. So I call her and go, does this make me sound like an asshole? And she says, yes, and here's why. And then we talk it through. And once I beat the asshole out of it, then we get to go on the,
Yeah.
then we get to go to,
I love organizing.
so we have a great time. So I wanted to get her a platform here. And so right now, ladies and gentlemen, get up for
ladies.
Emilia Barrosse. Let me hear you.
Chris Bowers, ladies, he's a great listener. Okay, just so you guys all know that shit's true. All right, yeah, guys, it's great to be here. Except that it's not at all. It's terrible. I'm doing stand up, and like every time I imagine doing stand up, worst case scenario is alone in my bedroom. You know, we're starting on a really excellent note. Guys, just FYI, like all the people that are watching here that are not stand-ups, stand-ups are rare. We're all at our all-time low right now, okay? So if you see a stand-up, be nice, you know? I feel like lots of people, I see stand-ups and like the impulse is to like be rude to them. Like there's so many people that I've been like talking to, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about like, you know, the stand-ups who like don't get to perform. They're all really sad right now. And they're like, it'll give them more time to work on their material, which sucks. Maybe don't kick us over down this week. Maybe not this week. Or for the next few months, or however the fuck long we're in here. You guys are oh my gosh, we have a new person here. Some guy said overall. Okay, it's so much better when there's lights on my face and I can't see you guys. A few weeks ago, I was in my car at an intersection, not to brag. And on the corner of the intersection, there was like an old, like there was like a street preacher who was like full crazy. He had a megaphone, like the whole nine. And I was sitting in my car with the windows up, just going like, what the fuck is this dude saying? Like, what is this dude saying? You know, like what kind of like crazy anti-gay, anti-women slop is just like falling out of his face right now. So I roll down my window and I hear him going on and on about like humanity's days are numbered, the apocalypse is nigh. And I was like shocked to hear that because, you know, reasonable. You know, like I did not expect to agree with this dude. You know, I was judging a book by its cover, but by the end I'm like, I may have to pull over and snag a pamphlet, my friend. You got it. It's pretty cool though, living in the end of days. Like we're officially here, baby. Like 2 years, but we are officially here. The end of days is online. It's pretty cool living in the end of days. Like we're the ones, you know, like people have fear-mongered about the apocalypse like ever. And it's like, we're here, guys. Who knew there'd be so many scooters? I never expected the apocalypse to come with so many scooters, but I'll take them. You know, I'm not gonna turn those away. But it is cool now that we know, like in the future, all the post-apocalyptic films that get made from here on out, for us to take it seriously, they're just gonna need like a shitload of scooters in them. You know, like I'm talking of scooters, patterned scooters, like a zombie on a scooter, you know. They're the new tumbleweeds, you know. In a real way. Back when Handmaid's Tale was on TV, I don't know if that shit's still on TV. I had to stop watching it, but back when it was on and I was paying attention, I saw a billboard for Handmaid's Tale that I think is like a perfect encapsulation of just how much right now sucks, how hard this time sucks right now. Saw a billboard for Handmaid's Tale and on it was like a big picture of someone's face in agony. And there was a huge quote that was like, Handmaid's Tale could not be more timely or relevant. That is how much shit sucks right now. Is that people are watching this TV show about a post-apocalyptic hellscape reality, and we're all going, oh my God, that looks familiar, actually. That reminds me of my literal, actual life. Oh my God. I can see your life reflected in film. Oh, great. I've been thinking, I think I'll probably leave you guys with this. I don't know how much time we've gone or how much I've done, but I'll leave you guys with this. Been thinking a lot about Mount Rushmore lately. You know, thinking a lot about the outdoors more than my whole damn life. You know, it's like you don't appreciate it till it's gone. You know, now the outdoors is gone. But anyways, been thinking a lot about Mount. Y'all ever noticed how carving statues on the sides of mountains never really caught on after Mount Rushmore? Kind of the beginning and the end of like the great mountain statue experiments. And I don't think it's because we don't love Mount Rushmore, I mean, obviously we fucking love Mount Rushmore. Okay, fucking love it. We can't stop thinking about it. I just personally think they couldn't get the sculptors to do Rushmore again. Like, imagine being the team of sculptors that show up to Rushmore day one, ready to carve some American presidents into the side of a mountain, and then they learn they're just carving faces. Like, imagine they're like, wait, hold up. Are you telling me we brought our best dick and torso guys out here, carving 4 American presidents in stone, and we're just doing faces? Guys, we're sculptors, okay? Dicks and torsos are why we do this, man. Y'all ever been to a museum? Y'all ever seen all those statues where we don't even fuck around with the heads of the arms? It's all just dick and torso? Yeah, no, accident. Okay? Y'all ever seen the statue of David? Motherfucker doesn't have pupils in his eyes, but you can bet your bottom dollar you can count every single one of his pubes, okay? Never again. That's all the time. I mean, I have literally all day, but this is all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, you guys. Thank you very much. You guys are such a great audience. Oh my goodness.
The first half of that set actually was I saw you do that at a showcase a couple of years ago, and it just became timely.
That's a really nice way of saying it. Write some new fucking material, Amelia.
No, I'm kidding. You obviously it was brand new. The first half of your set was about the coronavirus. There's no fucking way. If you had that a year ago, that would be a little
with the coronavirus
terrifying.
stuff.
Yeah, I was joking.
He's joking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because the apocalypse joke, the scooter apocalypse joke, I've been doing for like a year now, and it's never been more relevant.
Oh, holy shit! That joke is your Handmaid's Tale.
Great joke. Really great joke. And I did not expect that kind of energy coming from the Corona vibes that were coming preset. So that was very impressive.
This is why we're at an all-time low, is because like comics, we thrive off of like performing for people and like having to be inside for a it's just, I don't know, it's really fucking with me.
By the way, if you want Amelia not to be at an all-time low, and if you enjoyed her set, this is where we open up the tip jar. So if you guys want to super chat, this is the way to do it. Whether it is you want to throw in $1 or you want to throw in $10 or whatever, it doesn't matter. Kick in a couple, and that will be a great way to keep live stand-up going.
Yeah,
and we'll be able to get more comics on in the future.
Help all comics suffering from resting bitch face. There is nothing. We need a corona.
You're just sad
vaccine.
because you can't get on a scooter right now.
That I love so much. Yeah,
Amelia, I want to say I've seen you developing that Mount Rushmore joke, and I'm really happy to turn.
Yes.
I don't know how many people know about how comics work, but like. She was doing that joke for what, a month or two without the dick and torso part, and then we figured that angle out. It had something. We knew it had something. She's like, for the longest time, I don't know where to go with it. And then, so it's so. I love when I see a comic and then they find that turn.
Yes,
that was so. I laughed so hard at that because I'd seen you work on it. It was so great, and it was such a weird way to go. It's just perfect.
Well, and also that joke has a second part that I do sometimes, where then I go into like Teddy Roosevelt, who's one of like the presidents in the Mount Rushmore, and the tag, like the very final joke tag to that second part, Chris gave to me actually was like, because they ultimately carved Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt was like a really great environmentalist, and he like saved all the land with all the national parks, and like what better way to get back at Teddy Roosevelt than to fuck up an entire mountain by carving his face in it. Hear the whole joke, it really works, but Chris gave me that idea.
Also, Chris especially loved that part because for years he's been looking for a great dick and torso guy.
Maybe if you found a good dick and torso guy, you wouldn't have to wear so much elastic.
Right?
When I heard the joke,
yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Newberg.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I was listening to the joke, I mean, I was like, this is a good joke. I mean, it feels like it would really be complete if she says dick and torso, but but she didn't say it right after I thought it, so I know she came up with it on her own. And it really does. It, like, I don't think I'll ever be able to think of Mount Rushmore again without just hearing people scream dick and torso. So for that reason,
Where are the dicks and torsos?
for that reason, I think it's a perfect joke.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Chris, I do have a question for you. This is for Newberg, not Bowers.
Yes.
Is there someone that you write with? Like, do you have your go-to people that, like, if you have an idea that you bounce the idea off of people?
Yeah. I mean, it's usually strangely enough, I have a texting thing back and forth with Zara Mizrahi. Like,
Zara's wonderful.
Yeah, she's great. She's great at one letter. It'll pretty much be a typical writer's room type text back and forth. I'll be like, this is probably stupid, but what do you think of this? And then she'll, give her notes or not like it. And then she'll write me, you probably hate this, but so it's typical comics discussing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I gotta say, Newberg is one of the most prolific joke writers I've ever seen in my life. That's why I always hire him for any TV show that I'm doing. The guy just churns out jokes, churns out scripts. If you ever need somebody to punch up a script or to partner with on a script, Newberg is the guy. At the Chris Army on social media, by the way, too. And Emilia, it totally still works because Rushmore definitely post-dated this, but just it reminded me, you guys should check out, if you've never heard of this, check out some Google images of the city in the nation of Jordan of Petra. The whole city is carved into the mountain, and it is gorgeous.
Wow.
So, by the way,
Nice backdrop,
That's great.
Michael,
we've got a ton of super chats. If I could shout out some of our audience. Thank you so much to
super
Z Bunster for $10. His question is now hell for comedians? All this material, no audience. Thank you.
We'll get to the question. That'll do the super chat comments first, just so we can, because I know there were a bunch of tips and stuff that came in.
Yep. And Tweewhite81 is a blue set or a clean set harder to develop. Johnny Parsnips, Leanne Howland gave $20. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Rhonda Valladingham, love this. Revel 5, this is pretty cool. Thanks so much for the $5. Dave Trevino, $10. Thank you so much. Piece of Toast, $2. Y'all rock. Eagerly awaiting Seattle area dates. And
so are we, and so is Seattle, by the way.
Fleet White, 81, $5. New Fuck, Marry, Kill. You run an apocalyptic town, have to decide the fate of 3 criminals.
Wait, Michael, we can't take all the questions at one time.
All right, fair enough.
Just separate the questions. Just give us the tips and the comments, and then do the questions in a minute. That's what he meant.
Comments on the set is what you mean, right?
Just give us the dicks and the torso.
Yeah. So like Opus 4210 throws in $10 super chat, says good stuff. I'm hoping for way fewer scooters in the afterlife, which is much appreciated. By the way, the people that the coronavirus might hurt the most will need rascal scooters. I think not the kind that are out there on the street.
It's just a matter of time before there's rascals on the road.
Yeah, and a Cougars Cub threw in $2, says like the stream, more people need to be notified. I agree. If you enjoy this, share this with your friends. That's the only way that stuff like this grows, and we can have more and more comedians on it. The more people who watched it, I think the more comedians we can get to do this. And
we're doing it every day at 5 o'clock, at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, every day this week except this Thursday. So please come on back and tell your friends.
And Gabriel Mag super chats for $2 and writes hashtag Gleib Squad. So right there, that's a voter for you. Hell yeah.
What's going on, Gabrielle?
Excellent. And Dave Trevino, who threw in the $10 super chat and put an icon of a weird emoji type of person laughing hysterically, rolling on the floor. So I think that's one for Emilia. Let's take a couple of the questions on the super chat, and then we will go to our second set of the day. It is okay. So we have, I don't even know what this means. Johnny Parsnips writes, create a story on Dungeon AI 2 possibly. Does anyone know what is that?
No.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna guess we're not gonna do it then. Okay, so we're gonna go to Z Bunster's question. Z Bunster's question, $10, super chat, says is now held for comedians, all this material, no audience. I would say that I mean, I think a lot of people are adjusting and there's going to be an adjustment period, but once we have all accepted our fate, I think there's going to be a lot of creativity happening. Shakespeare wrote, I believe it was 3 of his plays while in quarantine. You know, and I think that Paula Abdul's best work was in quarantine. So that one is, Paula Abdul is not in quarantine and she doesn't have best work. But my point is that I think a lot of creative people are going to have a lot of time on their hands. And so while this is going to be very, very tough for our egos and our ability to, you know, receive dopamine, I think that eventually we're going to come out of this a lot stronger.
Yeah.
I would like to take the opposite opinion there and say this is fucking hell for us. It is terrible. Also, it looks
National
like
Park.
Hofstetter's
I'm not.
head
I'm
is
not
on Mount
upset.
Rushmore. And thirdly,
one of the heads.
there you go. And thirdly, I'd like to answer another question by saying it's much harder to write clean material, super easy to write blue material. Fucking balls.
Case in point.
Yeah.
It's a very good point.
Chris actually, speaking of like, you know, pandemics and like massive deaths, Chris Bowers gave me a really positive spin on that today. I don't know if you want to share it, Chris, what you said.
Did we just lose Bowers for a second? Oh, he's coming back in. We lost Bowers for a second. So Bowers, Emilia just asked about your positive spin on death.
On massive deaths as a result of
mass
pandemic.
Well, what I'm saying is, hang on a second.
Here it comes.
All right, while he figures that out, Newberg, does this inspire you to write more material or does this make it tougher?
You know, I think I don't think it, I mean, writing itself has always been kind of easy as far as the process of it. Yeah, you want to say the jokes. I mean, that's the most fun of what we do. I mean, you know, if you're sitting around, you're like, oh, I just wrote this killer joke, doesn't mean anything in comparison to being able to rock it in front of 9 people at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? It's like, so you still have to get out there and do it. And as much as like texting your comic friends and saying, is this funny? And them saying, well, it's more of a tweet. It's kind of written. It's more of a written joke. But instead of stuff like that, it's like you really want to go out and you want to be humbled with the truth. You know, you want to know, oh, you want to hear, like the best jokes you tell, you'll know whether they're good or bad, not by what anyone tells you, but just how they sound when they hear it. You know what I mean? No one's going to go, you're not going to tell a great joke. They're either going to applaud and stand up. They're not going to go, great joke.
Yeah.
So,
and an audience is the most honest feedback, because even your friends sometimes don't give you like real, like as honest as it needs to be, but an audience, that's cold, brutal honesty.
Yeah, and by the
Totally.
way,
and jokes don't work one-on-one. Even jokes don't work written down oftentimes. Only in your head do you know how you're going to deliver it, and you need a crowd. It could even be a 4-person crowd. If they're there to receive comedy, it's a different mindset.
Okay,
by
and
the
does
way,
this make me an asshole?
also.
Oh, I have a question. Does it make me an asshole that I've placed a moratorium on one-on, like if my friend's like, can I do my stand-up set for you just one-on-one for notes? I'm like, no, you cannot do that. I will not sit through that.
That doesn't make you an asshole.
That full ban on that.
I have a different. I have a whole different take on this, guys, and I understand
you
how
do
you
shock.
But I
Chris Bowers disagrees,
right? But I've worked my entire. I mean, I started comedy in Indiana where there's one show a month, so you had to call people on the phone and work shit out. I
on the phone, that's one thing, but if I have to sit in front of you and I'm the only audience member and you're just doing the whole set for me and I have to be quiet for the whole set and just watch that. No thanks.
No. I think the only way to work stuff out is, you know, you call someone, you go, hey, I've been running this idea, and you can go through an idea. But I've had one where someone tried to call me and, like you said, kind of run the whole set. I was like, no, we could do a joke.
Yeah,
we could work on a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I'll listen to if you're paying me to write your stuff. 100%. I physically prefer seeing someone sit in front of me and tell me their set. I prefer it, but that's only if I'm working. If I'm not working, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah.
a no.
Well, I guess
all right.
my point is that comics are afraid to do comedy one-on-one because it's awkward and it's fucking hard, and it is harder. But if you can learn how to do it, it's like running with leg weights. Then when you do get in front of a crowd, you'll be way better at it. So get over your ego and just do comedy in front of a couple people here and there. That's why we're having these Facebook. That's why we're FaceTime parties. I'm thriving right now. This is the best I've ever done in comedy, ever. Okay. I'm not kidding.
The man.
11 people watching you.
Show with 2 good friends. I got fans coming in. Like literally, I'm having a blast. Like
Best Bowers has ever done in comedy was 3 minutes ago when he left the screen.
Yeah. Right when
All
we
right,
needed
I'm
it.
going to interrupt everybody because we got more super chats coming in, and we still want to have time enough for our second comic. So we've got a bunch more coming in that I want to shout out. AW Davies VO throws in $10 and says Dixon Torso's inbound. So clearly that is a tip for Emilia. And then we've got Robert Ensing says you guys rock, threw in $2. Adam Wimsett threw in $2 and said Gonads and Strife, which is a hilarious reference. I don't know if everybody gets that. That is like old school internet video reference. But that is I guess to Dixon Torsos and Gonads and Strife. And then we have one more, which is A Shepherd throws in $2 and says basically the benefit of what's going on now is at least there'll be more parking.
Or less, because no one's driving.
Well, no. The once this all blows over and a lot of people die, I think that was more of a
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of
The mayor of
silver lining
LA just, I don't know if you guys heard this, but the mayor of LA just relaxed all parking regulations in LA.
Hell
They're
yeah.
not going to be giving tickets for all kinds of stuff and for being in loading zones and all kinds of stuff. But a little bit incongruous messaging. The day before, he's like, stay home, no one leave. And the next day, he says the greatest thing ever to encourage you to go outside. No parking rules. Park wherever you want.
I had that same thought, and then I realized I was like, oh, that's because people don't have to go outside and move their cars.
Yeah.
Like if they're inside dying of coronavirus, maybe them being like, oh, but it's a Tuesday morning. It's 10 a.m. What do we do? I have to go outside.
Yeah, for people that aren't from LA, on regular residential streets, either side of the road, they pick a day and do street sweeping, which they don't really do. They just make you move your car. I've never seen a street sweeping actually, but that way you don't park there for 7 months. That way there's some free, so you have to move it back and forth. That's what they're relaxing on.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
It's time for another comedian.
Yes.
It's my first time talking. Oh, what was it? I'm sorry.
Murph, you ready, buddy?
Yeah, I guess I'm just talking.
All right. So,
Hey, how you guys doing, man? We're good. Give it up.
I'm gonna introduce you. Murph, let me introduce you.
I'm great at this.
So again, as I came out to California for Indiana, it was one of the great things. I get to see so many amazing comics all over the city, and some of them, you heard of, some of you haven't. This next guy is literally one of the funniest people I think in the city. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times, and every time he just crushes. He's the LA Weekly, LA Magazine up and comer. What was that thing? Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're gonna love him. Over David Murphy. Let me hear you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for having me on the show. Are you guys ready for the apocalypse? We're going through the apocalypse. We're so weak, man. We didn't get brought down by nuclear weapons. It wasn't aliens. It was fucking soup. Bat soup brought us down. Are you fucking kidding me? Soup? Is that what brought us down? I was talking to one of my Chinese friends about it, and he goes, yo, we've been eating soup longer than you've been a country. And I was like, oh, that's right. He goes, bat soup. And I was like, I wonder if there's like a Bubba Gump for bats over there. Like if there's like a bubble bat. He's like, you got grilled bat, you got steamed bat, barbecue bat, pineapple bat, you got baseball bat. Like there's fucking, you got Trump. We got Trump was amazing. Trump's my favorite. Trump came out and did a coronavirus update the other day. He gets on the podium and he goes, at least I ain't got it. I was like, what? Did he just say at least I ain't got it? But that's our fucking president. I don't know who I'm gonna vote for. I don't know if you guys voted. I didn't vote for the Super Tuesday shit. The reason I didn't vote is that they're too old. All of the candidates are fucking too old. Nobody's talking about this. Think about it. It's weird that there's a minimum age requirement to become president, but there's no maximum. And that's weird, right? if you can be too young for something, by definition, you can be too old for something. Here's the thing. I think if you run for president, you should have to be able to work a new washer and dryer. They should fucking put you in a room, put Bernie and Biden in a room with 2 loads and tell them they got 25 minutes to get this shit out. and look, we inherently know Bernie can't win. Like we want him to win, but we know we can't. We know he can't be president by the simple fact that we call him Bernie. We can call him Bernie. There's no president you call by the first name like that. No Clinton, Reagan, Bush, all those guys. You call him Bernie. Bernie looks like he managed your apartment building, don't he? He's like, hey. He's like, hey, Bernie, I got hot water in my unit. He's like, oh, okay. Bernie's so goddamn old. And Biden, are you serious? Biden? Wasn't he on like a couple episodes of the Golden Girls? Wasn't he dating Blanche? Like him and fucking Stan trying to get Dorothy or some shit? I don't know. All those guys make my father look young. My dad just turned 64. He's going through menopause. You guys know what this is? This is when men get older and they start losing testosterone. They start developing like feelings. My dad's starting to get feelings. It's super fucking weird. I realize I don't know that much about my father's life. Like I've been hanging out with my dad my entire life, and he told me the realest shit one day. He goes, "Look, I've known you your whole life. You have not known me my whole life," which is deep. It's like 30 years. I've never known anything about, I know anything about his life. And I realized I know the same amount about my father's life as I do the life of Jesus. I know about like his birth, and then it jumps to like age 30. I don't know shit about doing the 20s. I'm like, they could come out with the Bible, the college years, and we'd be like, oh, that's fucking awesome. I've been dating a little bit, man. That's weird. I ran into an ex. I'm from LA, so I run into my exes a lot. I'll tell you guys a story. Here's the thing. So I used to date a girl who was in a wheelchair. I'm a good person. And so one of the reasons we broke up is that she was too witty for me. She was too smart for me. Sometimes as a guy and as a male and as a comic, we can't take when a woman's too witty for us. Our egos can't take it. I remember the last time we were hanging out, we had a lot of drinks, right? And she got really wasted. And I was like, babe, I got a question for you. And she goes, what's up? And I'm like, don't get mad. She's like, just ask me the question. I go, okay. I've always wondered, when paralyzed people go to sleep, are you guys able to walk in your dreams? That's a deep question, guys. You ever think about this shit? I think about this. You ever think about what do blind people see, in their dreams? If you're deaf, what do you hear in your dreams? So after you can't walk, what happens in your dreams, right? And she goes, what? I go, look, when you go to sleep, is your life easier? Like are there less obstacles? And she goes, I don't know, Murph. Are you white when you go to sleep? I said, oh. I was like, haha, you're funny. You're single now, but you're funny. I just ran into my uncle. I was hanging out with my uncle and hanging out with my family this past weekend. My grandparents, to be exact. My grandparents have been together for 61 years, man. True love. You ever hang out with your grandparents and ask them how they met and then realize their grandfather's probably a stalker? I was hanging out with my granddad the other day. I'm like, yo, so how'd you meet grandma? He goes, well, saw her walking one day and I followed her to work. Showed up there for a little while. I did that for about a winter. I was like, a winter? You kept showing up? He's like, yep. I kept calling him a stalker all day and he got super angry and he's so cute. And he finally gets really upset and he goes, I was like, you're a stalker, Grandpa. And he goes, what? Your generation's so lazy with your Facebooks and your Instagrams. What, you follow me this and you follow me that, huh? Well, guess what? Back in my day, your grandmother had one follower, me. Your real followers back in my day. All right, that's my time, guys. You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. From the chair.
Hell yeah.
If you guys enjoyed Murph's set, please throw a couple of coins there in the tip jar. Throw in a super chat. That is how the comedians get paid. So
thank you guys. You're amazing.
Yeah. So if you
enjoyed that.
That was funny stuff, man. You did great. You killed it.
It was really good. Very funny.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That was the first time I've ever done this on the phone.
Yeah.
Welcome to the future, brother.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
We got super chats.
Awesome. Yeah,
Adam,
it's really cool.
Adam.
At the end of the
said,
show, Bowers is gonna be eating a bowl of Lucky Charms.
All right, Michael, tell us what the super chats were.
Adam Wimsit gave $5, said, hell yeah, max age requirements needs to be on the ballot. Eric Bygrass, $5. Heard AI Dungeon mentioned earlier. Not sure it would work logistically, but good money to see comedians doing D&D and AI. And then Revel gave $20 and said, please vote.
Agreed. Vote for Bernie. He can take it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've got some others that just came in. Z Bunster threw in another $10. Thank you so much for being so generous. It says howling.
Yeah,
Thanks,
awesome.
David. And Adam Eisenheimer threw in $10 with a bunch of applause emojis. Heather threw in $5. Says awesome set. Thanks, David. And there's also a ton of people who, you know, they weren't super chatting, and that's totally okay. We know so many people give what they can, and a lot of people are out of work right now. Not just comedians, but also mimes and, you know, other street performers. So tons of
Mimes
people
also
raising
horrible
dollars.
audio album.
A lot of Black Sheep performers are not getting any money this week. A lot of Black Sheep performers with their shirts off. Please support the Black Sheep performers.
Yeah. Dave Trevino threw in $10 with some applause emojis as well. And if you want to keep tipping, please tip. If you want to tip specifically to Emilia or to Murph, or, you know, split it, you know, or in general, whatever, just comment in the super chat, and so we'll know who to give it to. That would definitely help a great deal. And Ryan Roloff threw in $4 and said, take my money, Murphy. The fans here are just freaking incredible. I love it. And by the way, Murph, I so much agree. It took so much not to for me to just yell and cheer when you said the thing about the maximum age. I think that is
weird.
Absolutely true. And I've tried to make that point in the past, on social media, and there'll be people, I'm like, hey, there should be a maximum age for president. And there'll be people who come at me and they'll be like, you're an ageist. And I was like, yeah, there should be no age requirements for president. So you think a kid should run?
Yeah.
Or are you also an ageist?
Dude, you shouldn't be able to collect Social Security and run for president. You shouldn't be able to do fucking two things.
Agreed.
Well, if this election doesn't work out, I'll just go back to playing bingo. It'll be fine.
Steve,
I
question.
saw a great
Steve.
tweet, and I don't know who to attribute it to. I wish I did. I don't remember who it was, but it said, America, where if you're in your 70s, we either put you in a home or in charge of the entire government.
Either put you in a home or in the house.
Yeah.
Ben, what was your question?
Can we get to some super chat questions? I know we've got a lot to get to and we don't have much time left.
Yes, we can. And also, real quick, Yankee fan 984 just says, remember to tip your delivery driver, and threw in $20, which is very, very true. If you are currently getting anything delivered to you, you're putting someone's life at risk because you're probably sick. And so please make sure to tip them. And that's also true if you go to the grocery store. Throw in a $5 to the bagger. Don't touch them, but throw in a $5 to the bagger. So we do have a couple super chat questions. One of them was, I'm trying to scroll up to find it. T. Lee Witt.
Fuck, marry, kill. You run an apocalyptic town to have to decide the fate of 3 criminals: banish, enslave, or kill for food. Options are Trump.
With the slave. I don't like the slave part.
Wait, banish, enslave, or kill for food. Yeah, but hold on, Murph. What if one of them's white? Wouldn't that be fun?
Okay, we can do that. Okay.
Who are the 3?
Options are Trump, Cosby, and Weinstein.
What are they wearing?
Oh yeah.
I think you kill and eat Trump for food because it's the first time a Trump steak would have ever tasted good.
Bravo, Bowers. Bravo. Also, I think he's the biggest, right?
Well, yeah, he's Marvel.
Yeah, and we also know for sure that he's not contaminated with COVID-19. So we can
and
feed
he's
him.
never exercised, so he's going to be real marbly and fatty and good. You know?
Yeah. Plus, he's just been massaged his whole life by his wives that he bought. So
Yeah.
It's like Kobe beef.
Yeah.
So the tastiest part of Trump is the breast meat. Anyway.
So you eat Trump. What were the other choices? Banish and enslave?
Banish, Cosby, enslave. Well, I feel like enslave Trump for sure, because that would drive him crazy. kill Harvey Weinstein, and then banish Cosby.
Well, why?
Why banish Cosby?
No, I'm saying, well, I mean, why over Weinstein? Like they're both horrible rapists.
I know, but I feel like Weinstein was worse because I feel
as a progressive. Hold on, I think as a progressive, Emilia is terrified to say enslave Cosby. Honestly, I think that's what it is.
Oh, you gotta enslave Trump because Trump has tried to be like a king his whole life. So you gotta enslave that fucking guy.
Guys, before we,
that motherfucker can't be trusted around a drink, and you gotta just kill Weinstein because he's like toxic.
I think
before we split hairs trying to debate which rapist is worse, let's go into another super chat question. How about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have that
if they're both the
debate.
equal rapists, then the funnier one's better. I don't.
Yeah,
I think Cosby was a great comedian. He was just, as a rapist, he was just really sloppy.
Worked as hard on his rapes as he did on his jokes.
Yeah, there'd be no.
I think the irony of Cosby is that he spent so much time telling people to pull their pants up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did he say pull yourself up by your bootstraps? Or something?
No. That was I thought that was a much better joke than any of you gave me credit for. Thank you, Murph, for being the one person who got it.
I know. I liked it.
I smiled. I grinned.
I laughed immediately.
All right. We have more questions.
We have a bunch more super chats. I'm gonna get to real quick here. So also AW Davies VO throws in $10 and says, "Don't leave me, Murph." You got some fans on this chat. Rich Wilson throws in $40 and says, for Steve's April show in Boston, by the way, $40, super generous, thank you. Says for Steve's April show in Boston, it's been postponed, where I was hoping to ask the most awful fuck, marry, kill I can think of. Some other time maybe. Rich, thank you very much. By the way, my Boston show was postponed, but is already rescheduled for October, assuming there is an October. So please ask me it then. Adam Wimsett throws in another $50 and says, "This is amazing. I want to support you all. Come to Boston when we can gather live again." Yes, in October. I would love to see you in person and love what you're doing here virtually. Thanks for sharing some laughs with us during this stressful time. And thank you guys for being here, because let's be honest, if there was an audience, we would actually still be doing this, but it would be sad. Much sadder.
And also, I just wanted to read one regular comment. Jack chimed in and said, "Ever been so high that you can't figure out how to unpause a YouTube video with such an intimidating background image?" And to him, I would just like to answer, obviously.
Nicely done. Okay, Kat Leahy throws in $20 and says, "Thanks for keeping us laughing." Thank you very much, Kat. We appreciate that. And then look at this. Chrissy Callums is throwing in $25 and says to Bowers, "Long live the Irish jig. Let's see it." What a way to go out tonight. Yes. We're going to do that. Before we do, real quick, we're going to let all of our guests plug something. We are going to end the chat with Bowers having to do an Irish jig.
Yeah.
So
it's like Goonies. It's like Goonies.
So, okay. So, Emilia, you, hold on. We're going to Emilia, you plug your stuff first. What do you got?
Follow, come to, next time that we're meeting outside, come to my stand-up show, Just Trying to Make Friends. Follow us on Instagram at JTMF Show, and watch the new season of Tacoma FD airing it starts airing March 28th.
Excellent. Murph, what about you?
You could have found me at South by Southwest last week. You could have found me at the Comedy Store twice this week. But all you can do now is just follow me, comedian David Murphy on Instagram, comedian David Murphy. Yeah.
Excellent. And then Chris Newberg, what about you?
I'll be at the Hollywood Improv tonight through 12/31, 2020. Just hoping that I'm first in line when it opens. Also, I have a podcast. Heroin is a great publicist wherever you pod, and everything else I was going to promote canceled. So after the Chris Army on all social media.
All right, Gleib, what about you?
That was so much fun today, guys. Thank you all for being here with us. Thanks for tuning in. That was a real blast. You can follow me on all social media at Ben Gleib, Gleib. Subscribe to my podcast, Last Week on Earth. Could there be a more appropriate name for a podcast right now?
No.
I'm doing it for 9 years, waiting for this moment. I summarize the world every week, sometimes joined by celebrity guests. This week, a medical expert who is making us relax and know more facts versus fiction about coronavirus, but often it's myself solo or with a guest. I have a game show, brain teaser game show called Idiot Test. I wrote with our celebrity guest, Chris Newberg. I host the show. It's on Netflix and Game Show Network. And an hour special that premiered on Showtime. It's now on Amazon Prime and here on YouTube for free called Neurotic Gangster. And please follow me on youtube.com/bgleib, BGLEIB. I need more followers on here. I'm trying to catch up to Hofstetter, and I will never get there.
That is true, and I will ensure it. So, and thanks for everybody who has been watching. There were a couple last minute super chats we're going to get to before the Irish jig that Bowers are going to have to do. Scoops for 7 Eve says, thanks for all this. You killed it. Throws in $5. Taylor of the Will throws in $5. Says, glad you all did this. It's a great way to end my night. Good luck to you all in this crazy time. Keep it up. And by the way, I know we can't get to every comment here. We try to get to as many as possible. A super chat will ensure that we get to your stuff. But even just regular commenting, we read them. We love them. We really appreciate the support. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Comics right now are going through a very hard time. And even just a friendly comment means the world to us. So we very much appreciate that.
Like Pensive Scarlet, who just said this was legit fire. Thank you, Pensive.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Pensive Scarlet. And a big shout out to both Murph and to Emilia. Thanks for coming on. I hope you guys got a bunch of new fans from here, especially because your YouTube channels need to surpass Gleib. So that's super important.
Not hard to do. Oh, and also Chris Newberg, by the way, had a comedy album that was #1 on the Billboard charts for like many months. And it's called Live. It's called Live or Let Die, DYE. Is that correct, Chris?
Yes.
There you go. I get that.
Yeah,
I feel like in that pause, Chris Googled what his album name was. All right, Chris Bowers. Right
so
now.
at Bowers Comedy on Snapchat, and Instagram, and Twitter, and all that stuff. Chris Bowers on Facebook. If you see behind me, I've set up my own personal beer pong table. We're going to be doing online on FaceTime beer pong tournaments during this whole shutdown. So you set up a table in your house, and then we FaceTime, and I go, and then you go. You pull the cup, and we play a full game of beer pong. It's going to be super fun. So we can do it in pairs if you have a friend at your house, or if you're all by yourself, we can do 4 different FaceTimes. We had a FaceTime party last night of 15 people.
Woo!
Do it. Check FaceTime people, hang out. This is going to be, after 10 minutes, you forget you're on the phone and you just feel like you're with people. And that's going to be the way to fight through this, especially if you're somebody who gets lonely or whatever. Don't feel free to, I gave this speech last night, but I'm going to get it every night. And then when your friends FaceTime you, answer the goddamn phone. You don't have anything going on. Fucking answer it, okay? You're not at work. Just shut up and talk to one of your friends so they don't lose their minds. And I'm not sure I know how to do an Irish jig, but we're going to end.
Bowers, wait. Before you do the jig, we got one more super chat, and it's generous as hell. AW Davies VO, who has already been a huge supporter of this, throws another $50 and says, thanks for all this, everyone. Good luck out there. Lots of love. Thanks right back to all of you. And by the way, of course, we're getting the Patreon together and we're doing all that stuff. And one of the Patreon things you can do is drink with Bowers. So Bowers, will you show us why that's worth it right now? Where did he go?
All right, I'm trying.
Just run away.
No.
Take off his shirt. Come back naked.
Does anybody know an Irish song? We got the music. Play the music. You're gonna be on screen. They're gonna see your rope. All right, hurry up. You're gonna play. I gotta play a song, and we're getting out of here because I can't dance that song.
Hi, Chrissy.
Yeah. Now audience is saying hello to Chrissy.
Yeah,
All
Chrissy.
right.
By the way, the $25 is from my girlfriend to make me do a jig because that's the kind of party we're having here at our house. So.
Yeah. This is how you escape boredom. You.
I'm just gonna jig. I'm not doing that music, but here we go.
All right, just do the jig.
Oh my God, are we
All worth it.
That jig, I don't know how jigs work, but the jig is up, everybody. I don't know.
Whatever that was, we're taking some highlights from these streams. These streams do not stay on the channel afterward. It is live only. We'll take a couple highlights here and there and post them, and for sure that's going up. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been another episode of the Social Distancing Social Club. I'm your host, Steve Hofstetter, joined with hosts Ben Gleib and Chris Bowers. Of course, our special guests today. We had Chris Newberg. We had Murph. We had Emilia Barrosse. It was fantastic. We had so much fun. And of course, we had you, because you guys are what makes this possible. Shout out also to the audience members. We should have shouted out more, but Ashley Borden, Chris Howe, Comedy USA, Kat still with us, and a couple people who were just like, once they saw Bowers jigging, they were like, my phone's broken. So,
shout out to Michelle Cash in the audience, stayed quiet but supported us by buying a ticket. Shout out to Kat, you just said that.
But you guys were awesome. We will do this same time tomorrow.
I'm wrapping up.
Doing a live Q&A that you guys can participate in at 11 a.m. Pacific tomorrow with Ryan Niemiller, who just finished 3rd on America's Got Talent and was invited back for their invitational tournament. We hope that you guys can join us every day, because
and
we know that you're working from
5
home.
p.m.
Yes, and Alon Gold joining us at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Steve. And thank you. Everybody, Newberg. Nice to meet you, Emilia.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Farewell.
Say goodbye, Henry Horse.
Michael, make me host again so I can stop the stream.
Yep.
All right, I'm good.